The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
It is that time of the week where we close with the song. Joining me again from We Live Entertainment, Why So Blue Variety, and the host of Out Now with Aaron and Abe, Aaron Neuwirth.
Oh, Danny, I'm back.
All right. So Jedi Rocks was an addition to the Return of the Jedi Special Edition in 1997. Gave singer Snootles more of a performance with Max Rebo and his band for a big number in Jabba's Palace. This one was kind of a back pocket secret till the trailer for Return of the Jedi Special Edition came out. I remember when I went and saw Empire, because they didn't put trailers online during this time, and that was when it premiered to on March, blah blah blah. And there's when they said a few new surprises, there was this fuzzy thing and like this music and this. I was like, what the hell is this?
What's this gonna be?
What is this? What? And I believe there was like a special about it on like TV.
Yes.
Or like before this came out. Oof. I know my personal feelings. I know some people are mad about Han not shooting first, some Jabba not likers or some CG stuff. This is the worst addition to any. If I could wipe one thing that happened during the special editions out, it would be Jedi Rocks. I would go back to Snootles, just go.
For one thing, I do like the music. I like the original music, just like I like Yub Nub.
Yeah, no, it was some trashy lounge that like you almost could see Snootles with a cigarette. Like it worked.
That being said, on its own, like I get what's being done here, and there's a lot of like stuff being incorporated. And as far as like a anything goes Temple of Doom style edition, as far as like this is a whole big like set piece, I get where George's head's at. It just doesn't fit the tone of what Jabba's Palace is at that point in the film. Like it's so somber in there, and it's so lit in a specific way that to have this like Broadway musical number essentially taking place, even for the minute that it lasts, it doesn't last that long.
No, it's not very long, but it feels like an eternity.
It really upsets like the vibe that you're getting from Return of the Jedi at that point in the film, and it just doesn't feel organic in any way. It just feels like, I guess we do this now, and it's like, but why are we doing this? Like it's not an instinct that I feel George needed to trust at that point in time.
It has a lot of stuff that contrasts with the Star Wars aesthetic at the time that would be fine in the prequels, but at this time we're like, what is it? Like there's a camera movement and Snootles like mouth going weird, and that just didn't feel
there's a lot of like what we've talked about forward thinking. It feels like George is already thinking like when Star Wars eventually goes 3D, which was planned at one point,
right?
He eventually was going to put all of them in 3D and put them in theaters. It didn't pan out that way yet. But I can see him like thinking this scene's gonna pop in 3D.
Right.
People are gonna go nuts for this stuff when you see Snootles' mouth coming out at you in 3D at one point. Like it feels like that's there. It just still intrudes on the movie entirely.
Right. No. And Jabba's really weird. He's like, hey, play that tape for me. It's like, oh no. And you get that new character, the little fuzzy guy that sings, and it's like,
He has a solo and everything.
Yeah, like I don't know about this. You got some dance. It's it's I don't know. It's
a lot.
yeah. I want like the thing is like it's too Saturday morning kids show friendly, and I feel like Jabba's palace should be way more trashy. Like,
yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing too. It tries to do that because it still has like the slave character that's like begging for like trying to get out of there,
yeah,
and then gets knocked into a rancor pit. But it's like, am I supposed to be amused by all this going on? But like there is like a person like fighting for their life. Like it's a lot. There's Weequay bounding on the like just a lot of things happening here.
Yeah, there's
Boba Fett's like mildly amused, like flirting with people in the background.
Flirting with a girl, yeah, like a new alien like looking woman that's there. Like this special edition is like, where can we add more Boba Fett? Yeah. People like him. People apparently during this time between 84 and now, people like Boba Fett.
We already animated him getting eaten by a beak. We need to have more Boba Fett early on.
Right. I like the original song just worked, and I like the movement. Like, I know he was unhappy with the puppet movement of Snootles, but I'm like, that works. She just looked like this haggard, like has been like.
Yeah, I don't think he's against like the puppetry but it's like, what has he got against puppetry? Like it's so it looks so good in these movies. Like I don't see like the flaw here. And it's
Jabba's palace was an impressive feat of puppetry back then. Even like when it came out, it was like, holy shit, look what they did.
Yeah, no, this is the era of this, and Dark Crystal and Labyrinth eventually, where it's like this is the Henson company like operating at warp speed at this point, like doing everything they can to make amazing creations. And you're like, I want to erase this and put some CG stuff in here. It's like,
granted, I do know, being around at the internet, that there's some fanboys at the time thought I was like, what is the Sesame Street stuff going on at Jabba's palace? So back then there was the anti-folk that was a concern with that, and I'm like, I just thought it was like, holy crap, look at these gross creatures, this is awesome. Like I didn't think it was like, oh, happy times. Like they were gross, like the Twi'lek, what's his name, Bib Fortuna,
yeah,
gross but awesome. Like gross, awesome. All this stuff was just grody, and it was kind of scary, like it was fantasy like with the Gamorrean guards. Like I don't know what, I guess the puppetry stuff was like a turn off for them, but I'm like, this was great stuff that helped Jedi have its own identity. Like,
yeah,
Return of the Jedi's best identity is its opening act. Its overlong opening act is like what gives it its own sense of character. Even though it returns to Tatooine, it's a whole new side of Tatooine that doesn't feel like anything from the first movie.
And Ewoks.
Yeah, you get the Ewoks, but Return
of
the Jedi.
Which, frankly, there's no way to CG those, so they're always Ewoks.
For being the compromised film and not the film that was supposed to follow Empire originally planned, like it still feels like its own thing, even though it was looked down as a back to the basics type movie when it came out by critics and stuff, but like it still works as its own movie. Like it's got everything you like about Star Wars. It's got the stuff you loved about Empire and the stuff you liked about the original together while doing its own thing.
I mean, it has the climax is still one of the best like 3-way action movie edits that you'll ever see. As far
incredible,
as multiple scenes going on all at once, and how do you edit all those things together. So many movies have copied that structure. Look at the entire MCU. I mean,
well, it pushes it. I mean, like Star Wars, there's one thing. Empire, there's two. There's three here. Phantom, there was 4. So, and then he walks it back a little bit. But where else would you go? But yeah, this, I mean, gives us more Jabba, more band members, more instruments. There is the Twi'lek dancer, like I mentioned, like she came back and shot additional footage, like, and she looks like she hasn't aged a day from the original film. So we get to see her. The
Force is strong with that one.
Yeah, the unnecessary extra stuff of watching her fall into the pit and get up and going for the rancor. So there is that. That's some fun stuff. It was very interesting, but they were really all about showing us how this came about when this came out. Like I said, there was like a special talk about the music and John Williams being like, well, came up with some stuff, and then the dancer coming back and reprising her role like many years later. Like, well, didn't realize this happened, but yeah, but it's bad to me. Like, I did not like this. Like, I every time I watch, I'm like, oh, here we go. It's only a minute, but man, it's one of the lowest Star Wars points for me.
It's again, it's for me, it's just how it doesn't fit in. Like, I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of thing where, like, most of these guys have gotten out their musicals at this point. Spielberg just got his. I want to see Lucas expand on this as anything more. Although, what's this animated Lucasfilm movie, Strange Magic or whatever? That's probably a musical, right?
Well, you know what though, this Jedi Rocks thing would fit perfectly in the bar in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
it would work there.
I could see something in that movie wants to like incorporate that stuff to some degree. Yeah.
Like, that's the best place I could throw this and have it work that I can think of. Like,
or like Anakin and go to some Naboo dance recital or something at one point.
Right? Yeah. Where else would it fit? Like, that's the only.
Instead of the really cool opera that Anakin and Emperor watch, they watch this ridiculous musical number while he's talking about the plight of Darth Plagueis. It's like also this.
Never hear about Darth Plagueis or what? Oh my gosh. He believed that you. Oh gosh, yeah. But yeah, the Jedi Rocks, this is it. This is, if the one thing bad truly happened during this, Jedi Rocks. Is this your pick for worst thing?
Of the additions to the special edition?
Yeah.
I don't know what would be better or worse than this. I don't like. Yeah, I mean, by easily, just because there's not, if like Jabba's the other egregious thing, I prefer that to this. So right, because one thing, I don't know though, replacing Yum Nub still kind of hits me. Like that did like make a mark on me.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, I like the footage that they incorporated. This is just like a whole section that's like, why?
What are we doing here? Yeah, like
so it is what it is. I do like the idea that because they're all friends, that Brian De Palma, who was already critical of Star Wars, like saw this at some point and definitely made fun of George Lucas.
Oh, you know it. He still texted him.
Yeah, but then he texted him the gif of the thing screaming every time.
He's like, "Did you see Uncut Gem with all them rocks? Were they Jedi rocks?"
Yeah, that's what happens in the group chain between him, Spielberg, Scorsese, Coppola, and Brian De Palma. And Paul Schrader, I guess.
Yeah, Paul Schrader goes in,
Yeah.
Paul Schrader defends Jedi Rocks.
Yeah, that's when the movie came alive.
You finally figured out Star Wars, George. You finally figured it out.
That's just me. Positive Paul Schrader.
Positive Paul Schrader. Gotcha. Oh boy. But yeah, Jedi Rocks. Did you like Jedi Rocks, listener? Is it something worth defending? Was it your worst pick? What were the things you liked about the special editions, and what were the things you were bothered by, but not so hateful, just like why they do that or whatever? But what were your favorite changes? What were your worst? Let us know. You can hit social media up on that or in the comments on YouTube. But that'll do it for this week on the show. Aaron, thank you for jumping in, reminiscing on these Star Wars special editions as they turn 25 years old this year. Why celebrate Star Wars at 45? Let's celebrate its 20 year with a 25 year. Wow, that's crazy. These are older now than when they were above Star Wars. That's crazy stuff to think about. But Aaron, before we head out, let people know where they can keep up with you.
Sure. It could be a pod race halftime show also. Everybody, after all the national anthems and after the first round of pod racing, they have Snootles.
There you go. Yeah. She sings
the dirt.
She sings the Universal Galactic Anthem.
Yeah. That's the victory prize. They're like little Anakin's on stage, like banging a tambourine.
Little Greedo and the friend.
the end of Phantom Menace with the now, guys, put that big ball down. Max Rebo.
It's the credits music. It like has a screen as the credits.
It's a side screen with just that.
The only Star Wars movie to have that. Yep.
They're all dancing. Even Terrence Stamp, even though got voted out. Anyway, you can find more of my work at thecodeiszeek.com. That's my personal blog. Everything I do ends up over there. I write for Leave Entertainment for movie reviews, Why So Blue for Criterion and Blu-ray reviews. I'm on Variety occasionally for some interview stuff, and I'm on Twitter at Aaron's PS4. The podcast I co-host with my friend Abe is called Out Now with Aaron Abe. We talk about the weekly movie releases and do fun commentaries, including a lot of Star Wars commentaries and more. And yeah.
All right. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Brand4KUHD. Written work at WhySoBlue.com. There's more from the Brandon Peter. Or no, there is not. This is the end of the week. So the show will return all new next week. But until then,
may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Okay, go.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.